The Japanese version of Umamusume has been out for 4.5 years, which means countless features and quality of life updates that were added along the way. Today I'll be breaking down the best quality of life and major features from the Japanese version that you are most likely going to expect to arrive from now up until the first year anniversary. Keep in note that there is a lot of features that are not mentioned in this video because they were released much later, such like the rent decks, which released for the 4.5 year anniversary, or the trainer pass, which released for the 3rd year anniversary for the Japanese version. Anyways, some of these updates are especially huge for the free-to-play players. But before I get into the video, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel and help with the channel's growth. Let's start with the quality of life changes. The first one is the fast forward mode in team trials and daily races. Instead of having to click through every single match, now you can turn on fast forward mode and skip all the extra races after the first one, finishing team trials much quicker, and daily races also received a similar upgrade. You can use all your tickets in one go instead of spending them one by one. And when you visit the daily shop, you can instantly purchase everything with a single click instead of manually buying each item. These changes may sound small, but together they will make your daily grind much faster and giving you more time to focus on your career runs. On the topic of daily races, there will be a new level of difficulty added in there called Very Hard, which of course means the daily amount of monies and support cards will be increased on average daily. Another helpful quality of life update is the ability to automatically open the shop when you are short on resources. For example, I am currently trying to upgrade Hayurara's potential level, but I'm missing dirt shoes now. Instead, I would have to open the menu, then find out which exchange gives what, but with this, it will just list me all the potential exchanges. From there, I could trade whatever resources I need to get right away. There is also a great improvement in the goddess statue exchange. When you open it, the game will automatically tell you how many star pieces you're missing to increase that specific Uma star level. For example, it shows right here that I'm missing 19 pieces for Takion's next star level. Once I exchange for the exact same number, the game even gives me a message letting me know that that is enough to increase her star level. It is a small touch, but it saves you from miscounting and making managing your statues much easier. This next one is probably the most helpful change for every player, casual or competitive, which is the ability to exactly see which event options give you what. Normally, if you are new to using a support deck or an Uma, and if you are a casual player, you will just pick randomly and hope for the best. And if you are a competitive player, you will have to open GameTura or another wiki, look up the event, figure out which event gives you the right stats that you want. But now, all you need to do is press this little button in the game, and it shows you what each option gives, whether it's stats, skills, or both. This means if you do not care, let's say, about the skill, you can just pick the stat bonus and move on instantly. It saves so much time and makes experimenting with new Umas or different support cards much easier. A highly requested quality of life feature is the increase to the guest limit. Originally, you can only borrow 3 guest parents per day, but this has been increased to 5, and later on it will be increased even more up to 10. It might sound basic, but this change makes a massive difference, especially for champions meeting and creating godparents. Having those extra attempts means that you are far less limited in making competitive Umas or godparents to use for these Umas. Honestly, I wish we had this day one because the Korean server did, because it would have made the second champions meeting experience much better. Moving on from the quality of life, we have the major features that you should look out for. First being the auto run feature or guided career feature. This feature is a life changer. When it gets added, there will be three default options. First is Durli Arabian, which focuses on balanced auto training. Next is Godolphin Barb, which focuses more on getting skill points. And Durli Torque, which focuses on doing more optional races. There is also two customizable auto run features that you can make. And it's actually very customizable. You can change its name so that you know what exactly it does. And for example, you can set it to target specific skills or do more races. And even in the case you fail, you can make it so that the auto run either stops there and until you come back, or use a clock to continue running. Overall, this is an extremely helpful, and you can effectively make good parents, clear achievements, and even grind fans for your club, if you are a competitive player and so on. Once this feature comes out for global, it's like humanity discovering fire. It will be a life changer for everyone. Next is related to the auto run feature, which is the race agenda planner. This is simple. You can plan what races you want to race from the starting menu, which is awesome since you can plan all the races before starting your UMA's career. Though, do know that it is separate for every UMA. The reason why it is great is because sometimes someone could do a mistake and skip an important G1 race for those extra white sparks. Now you wouldn't be worried about making that mistake with this new feature. And you can plan the grind for all the important parent sparks farming in one go. And with the auto run feature, you can actually customize that to be more in favor with your own place planner, allowing you for maximum efficiency. On the topic of sparks, these two are very helpful, which is the guaranteed spark and spark rerolling. Let's start with the guaranteed spark. Upon spending 100 carats or buying the pass, which lasts a month and lets you do it for free, you can log a blue or a pink spark, depending on your choice. Though for the pink spark, you must be at least attribute A for it. As the name implies, you are guaranteed to get a selected spark of your choice at the end of the career. This is insanely helpful as it reduces the RNG requirement to get the main correct sparks. And here's a bonus tip. For the pink spark, you can choose an UMA that has the least amount of A's in their attribute. So someone like Agia Stekion is extremely good as a parent because you only have turf, medium, and pace chaser. So you got one out of the three to get the medium spark on her, while guaranteeing yourself the spark that you want. Alongside it is the spark reroll feature, which allows you to reroll your spark at the end of the career. First, it starts with 30 TP on the second reroll, and for the third and fourth reroll, it becomes 30 carats. So you can get up to full total spark shown to you on one run, first being the initial that you get, then the 3 that you reroll for. Similarly, for the guaranteed spark, there is another pass that you can buy which lets you do it for free. It's also lasting a month. So if you're a light spender, combining both lets you make really strong parents very easily. Then we got the new feature, which is the Rainbow Limit Break Crystal and the Gold Limit Break Crystal. Those are added around the 0.5 anniversary, and boy, this is awesome. Those can be used to limit break any SSR or SR card of your choice, respectively. Those can be obtained through a lot of different ways, such as the story event, shops, and other means. Those are extremely wonderful since it helps those who are one limit break away from making a card very good, but don't want to spend the carats to pull. Instead, they would spend those crystals to get the same result. For example, I have a level 45 Kirasan Black, and currently on Global, the only way for me to get that to level 50 is to pull on the Kirasan Black banner rerun. But instead, I could just simply use a Rainbow Limit Break Crystal and get the exact same result, level 50, and I enjoy saving my carats for better cards, or my favorite Umas. And lastly is going to be the skill books and cheaper innate skills. This comes around the first year anniversary or slightly after for Umamusume. And what it is the ability to make some of your initial skills at the start of the career start with hint level frequency already. For example, a level 3 initial skill of a 180 skill point cost would be reduced to a whopping 126 instead. Same could be said for the gold skills for Umas. And the way to get these books is through different ways. Those are extremely helpful for those skills that do not have any way to get. For example, Track Blazer or Enroaching Shadow has no way to obtain via support card. So making these skills cheaper will make it extremely valuable. Something to note though is that those gold skills will require you a lot of money and dream glimmers, totaling for 800,000 money and 120 dream glimmers. Though, thankfully, those become much easier to get as time moves on. And these are the features that I expect to come for global on the first year. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section, and if you found this video to be helpful, please do consider subscribing and leaving a like. It helps with the channel growth and it helps me to get feedback, and I hope to see you in the next one.